13 Moons Homestead. Today I'm going to give you a little bit of a tour of where we want our garden to be. So right now I'm standing just outside my front door, and we have already done some clearing here. You can see there's a tree stump there. There was a tree that unfortunately is too close to the cement and to the house, and we had to remove it. I don't know yet until spring what all is planted in this bed around it, so I'm trying to wait before I just rip out a whole bunch of stuff. And you can see here, this is like my favorite thing. There's trees here. We're in the Pacific Northwest, and so you can see there's very tall evergreen trees. But climbing up this one is holly, and I'm so excited about that. There's so much of it. There's even some red berries up there. I'm not sure if I can get any down, but I want to make some holiday decorations. So you can kind of see from here, there's a path that kind of leads that way to more of the property on the side of our house. And then there's this path that leads towards the back of the house and where part of the gardens will be. And then here, this whole big bushy area, you'll be able to see it better when I walk around. The garden will be kind of up there, where all that shrubbery and bushes are. That will all be removed. There's a small hillside here coming down to these existing raised beds, which need to be repaired and built up. So let's go for a little walk here. And I'll take you partial way up here. It's very wet. It's been raining here for days. So I'm not going to go truly tromping around back in the woods, but I wanted to show you. This is the back side of where the garden will be. There is a small fence structure that we think was probably a dog kennel that has actually good firewood stacked in it right now that needs to come down. Lots of good panels to use there. There's an old satellite dish. I don't know how to get rid of that, where we can put it. It's not operable. And then that area back there is behind the fencing, is the back edge of where the garden will be. And then we have all this wonderful space over here to the edge of the tree line, I think, is our property, that we want to clear the underbrush and have a picnic area. Okay, let's turn around and go back down here. Oh, and here's some of that holly bush. That's just so cool. Some rhododendron over here. Actually, rhododendron all over this property. There's a lot of it. We'll come back to the path. Okay, this is the lower edge. We've already cleared out some shrubbery here. It was way overgrown. There were animals nesting in, wild animals nesting in here, much too close to the house. There's a satellite dish to give you a reference. So on the side you can see there's some raised beds here. There's even a drip irrigation system that's sort of still in place that we need to find out like how old it is and where it actually comes from and goes to, and if it's even usable anymore. And the raised beds kind of go around at the bottom of this little incline here. And as we turn around here, this path takes us around the side of the house to the backyard. Another raised bed, and then you can see there's a break in the wall over here. There's steps there that need to be cleaned. This whole retaining wall needs to be restacked and actually pushed back because it's actually, the hillside is pretty far behind it. And then there's another raised bed there, has some panels over it for covering. And then there is our little back deck outside our bedroom and the greenhouse there. A little rose garden up here. Walk around. You can see this wall better. So you can kind of see this needs help. I want to remove all this foliage here, move the wall back and make some good size raised bed planters. Here's the stairway. It goes up the little hill. Really, really pretty, but really dangerous to step on right now. It's very slippery with the moss and we get so much rain here. And then there's a little flat area up there too that leads to trails that go into our backwoods. You can see the level of repair this retaining wall needs. It's not holding anything back. I don't know why it was built here. This is a tree that we already cut down because this is the south end of the house and it was blocking the sun. This, we don't know what this is. We think it's a well, but we're not on well water here, at least not right now, so I'm kind of hoping it's a well and it's actually usable because it would be really useful for the garden, but we'll see. More of the retaining wall. Fire pit here that we'll probably remove this and build a new one, but there's space here for it. And all of that I hope will become big, long planting beds. Where that retaining wall is. There's the greenhouse. And we'll save the greenhouse for another day. Come around here and go up on the hill so I can show you the back side of the garden. So this is a little flat area above our little backyard garden area. There's the greenhouse. And there are a couple of trails. This one needs to be cleared out. There's also one way back there you can't really see. It also needs to be cleared out. Some pretty little trees back there. We have, I'm stepping on it, it's a problem. We have a mole problem. All these little hills are really hard on my knees, and when I step on them they're soft and sink in. I don't know what happened with this planter. Spider web. So coming around here, this is the other side where the garden will be. You can see a satellite dish there. Here's this overgrown little hillside that will all be torn out. All this vegetation. We might save the rhododendron. We'll see. They're everywhere and we need garden space. There's not a lot of open space for sunlight. So this area, all the way back to the trees on all sides, will be our garden area. And I plan to have it fenced in and have probably pretty significantly tall raised beds because of physical limitations that I have. But I think it's going to be a pretty good size area, especially when you factor in the raised beds that are the planters that we'll build at the bottom of the little hill. There's another trail entry that needs cleaned out. There's enough room back in the trees right here. If we clear it out a bit, I think that perhaps a chicken coop could go, or maybe a goat shed and some fenced-in goat area. I'm not sure. Most of our 5 acres is wooded, so we have to be clever about how we use it. Obviously, open space has to be for garden as much as possible. But I do think I want to have some animals, so we have to consider things like this. And most of this is mature trees, so this is, considering they had trails back there, this is a few years of deferred maintenance, keeping it clear underneath the trees. Come back around, and there's the upper path back to the other end of the backyard and the house. So I think it's all doable. I have young adult children and my husband, when he's not working, to help. So I pay them and they'll come and help. So I'm hoping a lot of this will actually get cleared out soon and we can start building some beds, because I want to be ready when spring comes to plant, because I'm really hoping to use the greenhouse to start seeds early. So there you go. There's basically the before, minus a little bit of brush clearing that already happened, of where the garden needs to go. Thanks guys for coming along with me today to explore the before pictures of where the garden area is going to be. If you have any comments or recommendations for anything that I talked about, please leave them in the comments below. If you're new to this channel and you can hit the subscribe button, I'd really appreciate having you subscribe. If you want to be notified anytime I upload something, hit the little bell. I don't do it more than once a week, and probably even a little less than that right now. And definitely share, comment, like, all of that good stuff. Thanks so much for coming and being with me today.